People keep asking if AI could trigger a Lehman style moment. What this really shows is that Wall Street is now moving the same way everyday investors always have. Fast adoption, big expectations, real time learning. AI firms like OpenAI aren't about to collapse, they're about to adjust. Markets don't break first, they reprice first. This isn't fear, it's evolution. Let's check out this clip.
I'll be real with you, and I may be wrong, but I'm gonna put this out there and say this. They could have a Lehman Brothers type effect on the market if they don't produce.
What's up, Trap? This is your boy Mike PI. PI standing for Profitable Investor. First of all, I want to say, man, I appreciate you for the game that you're giving. I appreciate you for the love that you're showing, and I appreciate your response to the comments. So let's dive into it. So you got this term that's floating around the AI trade that's called circular financing trade. Circular financing trade. All right. And some examples of this is where you have NVIDIA creating partnerships with different companies, and that's allowing them to take equity and streams of revenue from that company, like OpenAI, just recently Synopsys, Anthropic, CoreWeave, and Intel. All right. There's OpenAI. They needing financing, so they giving equity up to Microsoft, NVIDIA, SoftBank and Oracle teamed up to get that equity up out of them. You also got AMD that's trying to secure sales from OpenAI, so they're willing to give up a potential 10% stake in their company. And then you have NVIDIA and Oracle collaborating to build out the sovereign AI solution for government and enterprise worldwide. So they call it circular financing deals. But could this be a form of mergers and partial acquisition amongst the AI trade?
Circular financing that's interesting too, because when we think about OpenAI, I'm not gonna lie, man, I'm really looking at this company like it's gonna hurt a lot of people. And the reason being is because when you look at the money that two things. One, here's the crazy part. I'm not worried about NVIDIA like I'm worried about what OpenAI can do. And the reason being is because companies like NVIDIA also just produce real money. Right? They have real money. I don't care what everybody, they got this, they produce real money. There's a huge demand for it. The issue with NVIDIA is they have the demand, but it's connected to also, we got to create the energy, right? So the CEGs and the GEVs and those companies can create the energy but that's going to be with AI around the world. Like, there's going to be a huge energy constraint for sure. But you got to think about the other things that NVIDIA do to create money. For OpenAI right now, their chatbots and some of the other stuff that they do, they produce revenue, but they don't produce profit, right? And that's going to be the huge thing when it comes to them. Like, they're not profit driven. And so when you think about companies like that, any type of chatbot, any type of consumer AI tool, any type of vertical AI service as a software, they're not profitable right now. So the only people that we see that's really profitable in the AI space is the NVIDIA, it's the AVGO, in a small scale, you see AMD has eked out some profits, right? These are the big boys, TSM, but they not on that version of it. So companies like that have real revenue, they are strong because, think about it. AVGO reported earnings, year over year is up 70% than what it was the year before. And what did they come out and say? Yeah, but we probably ain't gonna see no money from OpenAI for like 2027. That's why the stock fell. But everything semiconductor is up big. So NVIDIA makes money from a lot of semiconductor stuff, and so that's it. So that circular, even with Oracle is not, that's their biggest issue right now, is because you ain't been profitable for 5 years. right? And so that's the big issue with Palantir. Is profitable. Rightfully so, they're profitable. The issue is, and because these companies have AI labs, data centers, chip demand, infrastructure, these companies are powerful. But think about it from this perspective. Like AI right now, when it comes to infrastructure, if you go look back at this thing they call the Men Who Built America. Mike, I got you on this question, but it's bringing me full circle. I got you. Go look at the Men Who Built America, and you'll see like the same thing happened with railroads, the same thing happened with electricity, the same thing happened with the internet, the same thing happened with mobile phones, right? There's a huge infrastructure that has to be built. And then there's companies that have a lot of money that was already successful before that can get into it. And then there's companies like OpenAI. I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I don't, and I could be wrong, I don't see them producing the kind of profitability that they need, which is why they're giving up a lot of equity, but they still got to produce a lot of money. And so that may end up being, he may end up losing more of that company than he think. Now, I've never been a person that has to deal with that, but I remember he was on a show the other day, maybe 2 weeks ago, and my guy asked me, hey, what's up with this? He was like, hey, bro, if you want to sell your shares, but he ain't answer the question. It's like, what are you going to get the profitability for in the next 2 years? You got to come up with like $700 billion, bro. You're not even profitable. And it's because they need so much money, and you got to come up with a framework. And I think, I'll be real with you, and I may be wrong, but I'm gonna put this out there and say this. They could have a Lehman Brothers type effect on the market if they don't produce. Right? And the reason why I say it's not a bubble is because the companies that produce, like AVGO is a real company that's making real money. NVIDIA is a real company that's making real money. Google is that's why it was such a threat. Because now you got a company like Google who's saying, nope, we're gonna create this, which is not so much as a direct competitor to NVIDIA, but it's a 100% a direct competitor to OpenAI. Because of the search, because of the chatbot, because of the Nano Banana, because of the Gemini, it's a direct competitor, and they profitable by far. And they don't need the Gemini to make money, because YouTube make money, search still makes money. The other stuff they do still makes money. Waymo still makes money. Waymo is actually competing with Tesla. With the robo, so that's why I don't think it's a bubble. But this one company has so many different, it done webbed itself in so many different companies to where he gonna give up I think it could have a Lehman Brothers type effect, because the market only needs a couple companies to be successful. But because this company is pushing so many things, and it's the big dog of it, I think that can lead to so many other stuff. So with Mike, yes, a 100 can be, it can lead to a mergers and acquisitions. That's inevitable, because think about it, the market only needs so many companies to win to say that it's legit, right? And so now with so many, when you only need a couple companies to win, guess what happens now? You forced into a situation where you got to do what? Merge. You forced into a situation where you got to give up 50% of what you got, because you're going to be a trap buyer. You trapped. And I think that space, you got so many big dogs. You got Amazon saying they're going to do this. Elon Musk is worth $638 million. And guess what he just said? NVIDIA, I won't make my own chips too. I'm coming for you. Because nobody wants to be under the constraint of one company. Here we go. Elon Musk, bold claim. Tesla will dominate the AI chip production. What? He worth $638 million. You tell me he ain't got 3 years to make this out? He already told Apple, you better watch out because I'm about to create a phone too. Look at it. Elon Musk tells plans to manufacture more AI chips than every other company combined, backed by a major hiring push for elite chip designers. He revealed that Tesla has an advanced in-house chip engineering team for years and has already deployed millions of custom AI chips across vehicles and data center. Tesla is currently shipping its AI4 chip, finalizing A15 and beginning early work on A16. With a goal of releasing a new chip design every 12 months, Elon Musk says the long-term target is clear. Tesla will outproduce the entire chip industry. Who gonna tell him he lying? You know why they don't give him the money? Because he got a $638 billion network. He already going out of space. Guess what he gonna do with that? We're gonna create a data center out in the space. The man don't fail. He is successful at what he put his mind to. And so it's stuff like this that makes you say it's not a bubble, because they got companies that saying, yo, I don't want to rely on just that. I don't want to rely on just that. I don't want to rely on just that. And that puts more pressure on everybody in the space. So yes, Mike, I can see that happening when it comes to a merger and acquisition play, because what the circular financing also does is it increases valuation to companies that don't deserve it. But at the same time, what it does is now you have companies like Tesla and Google saying, no, we're going to create our own. It then puts OpenAI back under pressure, which, mark my word, they're going to have to go IPO real soon, because that's going to be the only other way to get money to do this thing.